Damn, it's cold. But why is it colder than usual? You! Girl! Do you happen to know why it's gotten so cold? All of a sudden. Well, wait a minute. I recognize you. That gown. That ring. Wait! No. No! Deltarune is no ordinary game. Most games, Deltarune included, requires the player to take a specific path, or even encourage specific options to be selected. However, unlike most games, Deltarune features a hidden path, one that is often dubbed the Weird Route, or the more fitting Snowgrave Route. What does this path entail? In short, it involves the player manipulating the game and its characters, most notably Noelle Holiday, so that the characters involved can become more stronger. With Noelle, we want her to become strong enough to use her fatal Snowgrave spell. Its notoriety due to the fact that it is the strongest way to immediately kill enemies. But let's look at the specific detail of the player manipulating the game. Now, this doesn't seem all too interesting, as even in standard gameplay, one still manipulates the game. But what if things were different? Well, the subject of today's video, Northern Blight 225, presents us with this question. What if instead of the player forcing the game forced the player to play a certain way? Now, at the time of writing, there are currently 7 episodes, and the unfiction is still fairly active. And like I always say with these analysis videos, I won't show everything that happens in these episodes. And I do this as a way to encourage you, the audience, to check out the unfictions for yourselves, so that you can see what you're missing out on. With all that said, we shall start with the first video, Deltarune Forced Weird Route, the beginning. Our first video sees us in Chapter 2, during the scene where Queen asks for truces in order to find Noelle. What's interesting here is that Noelle looks different. Normally she has a scared expression on her face, due to Queen being right fucking there. But here she looks rather bored. Despite this, the scene plays out normally, but after saving, we see just how different things are. Chris, why are you in such a hurry? Turn around, I want to show you something. Come on, I want to show you something. Normally, when walking to the left, Noelle will tell Chris to go the other way, but here she wants Chris to go the wrong way, and that she wants to show us something. What could she possibly want to show us? After encountering the first enemy, Noelle tells Chris to defend for her. Is she already familiar with battles? She doesn't seem her timid, scared self like she is in the normal game. After defending, Noelle shockingly tells Chris to make her use Ice Shock. Obviously in the normal game, it seems that Noelle is unfamiliar about it, but she can still use it anyways. And Ice Shock, along with Snowgrave, are pretty much the only ways to actually kill Darkners in the game. We then get on-screen messages saying that End Action and Take Care X are missing. How odd. After not defending to have the required TP, it seems that the player can't select anything, as sparing is also out of the question entirely. Even attempting to defend plays a nope sound. After ice shocking the enemy with accompanying Weird Route sound effect, here Noelle looks awfully happy in her little blue bubble. Cute, but still odd. So, what do you think? Neat, huh? Shit, I mean, I guess. Walking back to whence they came, Noelle says, Chris, come back. Let's go find some more enemies. After this, the video ends. Man, this episode sets up quite a bit in such a little time. The scene is playing out all wrong. It's like Noelle knows of the Weird Route, but is oddly willing and rather excited to perform all the steps. But why? Does she want to become stronger? Perhaps we will find out. Our next episode is simply titled, Failure. For gods. The video starts with Chris in a battle against some pop-ups. After recruiting them, the player eventually makes their way back to Noelle. So, it's a kid this time? Well, if this is what I have to work with, then interesting. With Noelle's dialogue, perhaps this is a different player than from the first episode, and a younger one at that. After the cutscene, Noelle says to Chris, So, got any room for another truce? Thank you. The 3 of us will make an amazing team. But hold the phone, there's only 2 of them? Is Noelle also familiar with the soul, perhaps? Of course I'm talking about you! You're the one controlling Chris, aren't you? Of course I can hear you too, silly. Listen, if we're gonna be a team, then we have to get to know each other a little better. I feel a little weird calling you Baby Shark? So I'm just gonna call you, okay? Hey, don't be scared. Look, I know you want to go right and finish the game, but I promise you'll see something really cool if you turn around, okay? Let's go. I'll show you when we get there. Holy Shit almighty. Noelle isn't just familiar with the soul, she seems entirely self-aware. She knows about the player too, much to Chris's shock. Perhaps they are also self-aware but hide it, unlike Noelle who's going full force about letting the player know that she knows who they are. Down to their name, which is otherwise never inputted anywhere. This was the scene for me that reeled me in, as it plainly shows that this version of Noelle isn't just simply interested in doing the weird route, as she's entirely self-aware. After this, the player rightfully closes the game, and when trying to erase the game, we see a code error. But the most notable line here is the variable named Object Caterpillar Kara. Interesting name. And it seems like someone is saying, "Wait, stop!" Perhaps this is Noelle telling the player not to erase the save file? But how much power does Noelle have if she can crash the game like this? Who knows what she could be capable of as she becomes her strongest? Before we move on, let's take a peek at the date and time on the player's computer. Need I say more? We now move on to Deltarune, unused Temmie error message. Here the video starts off with the intro to the game. All seems normal until Chris walks down the hall and sees... Egg! Chris! What are you doing? We're not supposed to be here. Not yet. Actually, it's okay. You can stay here for a bit. Just make sure you meet me back in Cyber City when you're done, okay? I have to try again. I have to know if I've gotten strong enough yet. After this ominous messaging, it seems clear now that Noelle is trying to become stronger, but as to why and what she is attempting to do, well, that much is still unknown. Walking into the class, it seems that the game has become soft-locked due to Noelle being missing. And after talking to Alphys, we hear a sound that should make you stand at attention and focus. Holy fuck. Sounds like someone opened a dark fountain, but who? After talking to the classmates, Temmie suddenly looks like she has something to say. Is it something gone really wrong her? Can you tell? The waggy friend? They can fix it. Temmie seems to also know that things are far from normal here, but now we will hear something so crazy, it made me run all the way to a local speedy mart to let them know what happened. Tem don't think he can fix this. Holy dead fuck. Before we read this error message, let's just take a few clicks back and realize what just happened. It seems as though Noelle opened a dark fountain, ice shocked Toriel, and then rather amazingly snow-graved Susie. I guess I was stupid for thinking Noelle liked Susie. Jeez. After the decrepit crescendo, we get an error message that interestingly reads the following. I knew it! It's still not enough! Noelle, please stop. This not like you. Not one person in there reacted, did they? It's not enough. I have to get stronger. Tem, really sorry about this. She only want to be free. She never been the same since she found out. Tem say too much. Here the video ends. Perhaps Temmie is also self-aware? I guess the self-aware counter can go up a point. Through the error message dialogue, it seems as though what Noelle did wasn't enough, and that she has to become stronger. Temmie also tells us how Noelle wants to be free, and that she has never been the same since she found out... something. Seems like Noelle has become Spamton-esque, as they both desire the power to obtain freedom, although it seems like Noelle wants to break out of the game entirely. With this, we move on to the next installment, Deltarune Force Weird Route 2 Resistance. Our video sees us where the first episode left off. As the player tries to run past an ambulance, this move seems to piss Noelle off, as she forcibly drags Chris over in order to start a fight. Here we get new battle music, and text that says, turns out it wasn't enough. After Donner partying some more, Noelle faces the screen and says, Hey! Hey, can you hear me? Yeah bro. Walking further, Noelle asks, can you hear my thoughts? Sure. Listen, I just want to ask you something, okay? Can you tell me that it's going to happen? And can you also tell me that it's going to snow? Snew. What? Sorry, can you say that again? I think I might have misheard you somehow. Snew. Why was that even an option? You know what? I'll take it. I just want to talk to you for a moment. Alone. Shout out to Chris for letting us rage bait Noelle by saying snew. 10 out of 10. After returning to the save point, the player quits the game. It seems as though they reset the game entirely, as we now watch a night chord version of the intro, vessel making and all that. As the video fast forwards through the killings of Toriel and Susie, we eventually return to a familiar air message, where we can see just how desperate Noelle is to become stronger. We then return to the chapter select screen. Holy crap-a-doodle. How do you take that long to play through 2 chapters of the game? Here we see the name Eggman, so now it makes sense as to why Noelle almost called Chris Egg back in the 3rd episode. However, instead of returning to the game, we enter Deer Check? You know, I've gotten mad at Chris's pranks before, but this is on a completely different level. I can't even describe just how mad I am right now. First, you ditched me in Cyber City, so that you could run back to Chapter 1 and create a new file. For some reason, I don't know. Was it to remind me of the fact that I'm slowly losing my mind? Because it definitely worked! Thanks, by the way. Then after that, you ditched me again! This time to run off to another save file! Oh, but not just any save file. No, no, no. Out of all the files that you could have picked, you picked your Weird Out file! What? 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 Was? What? 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 Oh, would you stop playing that freaking music already? How's anybody supposed to take me seriously with that playing? Shout out to our mysterious homeboy, Gaster. Seems like even he gets in on the fun of rage baiting Noelle. And honestly, at this point, who wouldn't? Plus, I like the music. It's got that funk vibe to it. The scene continues. And don't think I didn't notice you hiding my tail either. Now, back to you. What? 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 Was? What? Why? Hello? There's a perfectly willing deer right here. You know, the one that's been begging you to make her stronger? Through the dialogue at the top, it seems like Noelle has the power to tamper with the device. The device in question most likely being the player's computer or the game itself. You know what? I think I get it now! Your last save was in Castletown, right? That means you already completed your file, right? So it wasn't really about that, was it? You knew it would do this, didn't you? You just wanted to piss me off, didn't you? Well, congratulations! You did it! Oh, when I get my hands on you, I'm gonna... Come on, Noelle. You just iced Susie and Toriel, like 5 minutes ago, too. You could think of a good threat. I'm going to swap all your eggnog with mayo! Man, threat was so bad, even Gaster was left speechless. I also love the detail of the player moving the cursor up and down when Noelle asked if they were doing all this just to piss her off. To me, this gives off the idea that the player isn't a standard creepypasta protagonist who's scared of the game. And honestly, it seems like they're having fun with it. Wait, do they even drink eggnog? I mean milk! I'm gonna swap all your milk with mayo! Yeah! Come on, Noelle, you can think of something better than that. I'll eat all your cereal! I'll freeze you in freeze tag! Stop skipping my dialogue! Bro, Gaster, you're pretty much the game master. I'm sure you could just eliminate her map at the flick of a wrist. But what do I know? You know what? How's this for a threat? I'll take a thorn ring, freeze it, and then I'll equip it onto you. Don't think I can follow through on that? That's okay. You know, I've been thinking about this for a while. You hopping between save files and trying to make me mad just to see what I'll say. You made me realize something. You're way too curious to ever really try deleting my save file, aren't you? So, that means that if I play my cards right, then you'll do anything I say. Just as long as you get to see what happens next, won't you? I guess with that in mind, it's about time I let the cat out of the bag. When I get strong enough, one of these two things are going to happen. Either I get out of here, out of this game, and finally obtain my freedom, or if I can't do that, then you'll just have to be stuck in here with me forever. Well, it seems now we know what Noelle's ultimate goal is when it comes to becoming stronger. She'll either come out of the screen and become real, or the program will become closed with task manager lists. Both options are as equally as terrifying. Except the thorn ring threat, that's just not even real. It seems as we have also left the deer check and are now in your new home. It seems like Noelle doesn't realize that the player can just turn off the computer and then throw it into a wall, so can't really be stuck here forever. Don't believe me? That's okay. Keep laughing then. I don't even care anymore. Just don't say I didn't warn you. When you're begging me to not put the thorn ring on your finger. Now, get out. Fitting that the name of the object is pissed Noelle. After the game crash, the player reloads the game, to which Noelle doesn't seem too happy about. God damn! Before we begin today's episode of Noelle yelling at you for picking the wrong save file again, I just wanted to say, maybe I went a little overboard when I said I was going to put the thorn ring on your finger. I just don't feel right, going all creepypasta mode like that. But nobody ever really takes me seriously, until I start scaring them. On a related note, I am sick and tired of being ignored! You! Oh, would you just shut the hell up already? Shout out to Gaster again, probably the most elite rage baiter of our time. Before I start fantasizing about kicking your ass even more than I usually do? Interesting. Seems as though Gaster's willing to let Noelle do her experiment, just as long as the save file is erased. I really wanted to see him die, but I just not get to see him die, sadly. Ahem. Sorry, but I just can't get over the fact that you made a brand new save file in chapter 1 of all places. What the hell is she talking about? Oh shit, Susie, what's up, girl? Like, seriously, why? You didn't even start your old file. You just erased your old one and created a new one. Just why? Yo, Torio, what's up? Wait a minute. You remember what Noelle did to Susie and Torio? Perhaps Gaster is letting them have revenge? Were you trying to talk to him or something? I don't get it. And don't even get me started on... Actually, never mind. Sorry. I know you just wanted to hear what I had to say. That's the real reason you came back here, isn't it? I don't blame you. I kinda have the same problem too. Well, at least I got to finally use this room for once. Seriously, you have no idea how much work it took to put this room together. Okay, where in the world did you get that idea from? This is probably my favorite interpretation of Gaster. Instead of being all mysterious and spooky, he's just mysterious and an elite global troller slash rage baiter. Truly an A+. I can explain? I think it's coming from in here. Oh no. Noelle, what the hell are you doing in here? You were in here screaming about chapters and save files? Is everything okay, Noelle? I guess the confrontation was too much for Noelle to handle, as she crashes the game yet again. Here the dialogue says, "Sorry, but I can't deal with this right now. Just go to bed or something. Seriously, it's like 3 in the morning right now." Well, Noelle, a real gamer games into the wee hours of the morning. Not that you would know what that's like. Fake gamer. After this, the episode ends. This is arguably one of my favorite episodes in the series. I love how it balances the humor and then the more serious, creepy moments. The parts of Gaster's trolling are also great, and really cements the fact that this unfiction is willing to have some fun and not take itself too seriously. With this, we move onwards to the next video. Something strange happens if you leave Deltarune idle for too long. Our video sees us in chapter 2, and as Chris and Noelle journey on their way back, Noelle says, "Great, looks like it's one of those guys again. They're just gonna keep trying to spare the enemies. Until I eventually slip up. No, that won't do. Careful, Noelle. If you slip up again, you might get rage baited again." I'm gonna have to nip this in the bud. What could tricky Noelle possibly be planning now? After getting into a battle with some pop-ups, the player found a way to spare the enemies, despite the weird out sound playing. As Noelle looks stupidly at the screen, the game crashes, with the message being, "Oh no! It looks sparing that enemy caused the game to crash. Guess that means no more of that, huh? Oh well, fine by me." Interesting how the object name is Weird Route Manipulator. Also, cut the shit, Noelle. We all know by now that you're fucking with the game. You can't lie to us. With this, we get an interesting scene. The player goes to the Spamton save editor, which, if you can't tell, is an application that can let you edit your save files. Here the player loads their Eggman save file and gives Noelle a staggering 1 HP and 0 attack, and even removes the snow ring. Despite the screen fading out, we can infer that the player removes everything Noelle has and drops her stats to 0. Honestly, deserved. Loading back into the game, this happens. Noelle's stats and items went back to normal. Well, fuck! Nice try. Using magic to change my stats? Seriously? What's next? Are they gonna try running to some other save file or something? Oh, god damn it. It seems as though save file editing, at least in Noelle's perspective, is called magic. Perhaps this will come into play later. Checking her stats, we can see that she's fucking cracked at coldness, boldness, and guts. After freezing some pop-ups, the player does the ultimate rage bait and physically leaves their PC, letting the game run unattended. At some point, Noelle says, "So, are we just gonna keep standing here, or..." Seems like Chris is also getting impatient, but can't see the fact that the player has gone MIA. There's no way. Did they actually just leave the computer? I can't believe it! That they actually ditched us! Noelle has truly become to piss Noelle, and Chris, well, it seems like they don't know the full extent of what's going on. After some more time passes, Noelle says, they're gonna get so mad when they come back and find out that I set their clock 1 year backwards! I think Noelle's threats suck! Well, at least I hope they get mad. For all I know, they could just be reading the Deltarune wiki or something, trying to figure out what's going on, or why I'm doing this. As if they would find out anything about me there. I'll be the only one giving out that kind of information. Now, if only I could see their screen. Well, at least I know that I'll be strong enough to see it. By the time we reach Spamton's house, that is. But until then... well, not like I have anything better to do right now. Okay, Chris, let's start killing some monsters. In Dragon Blazers 2, of course. I guess Noelle can access the World Wide Web, if she's aware of any wiki, that is. I wonder what would happen if the player were to disconnect the internet while the game was playing. Now, it doesn't happen in the series, but it would be cool to see if it did happen. As Chris takes a seat, some time passes by, with Noelle eventually saying, "Sorry to say this, Chris, but you're gonna have to get stronger too." And as everything but Chris fades to black, the new dialogue says, "You begin to think about your current situation. Ever since yesterday, you felt that there was something off about Noelle. Each day, she would normally spend her time after school in the hospital. But this time, she was nowhere to be found for the rest of the day. Then today, outside of the school closet, outside of the door to Castletown, she suddenly offered you a lunchbox full of chalk with no explanation. You've never eaten chalk before. Maybe it would have made sense if she had offered it to Susie instead. But she didn't. Could it be possible that she already knows about Dark Worlds? Seems to be quite a stretch. But now that you're here with her, inside of a dark world, you've now realized that it's actually worse than you ever could have imagined. She isn't letting you leave until every enemy in the area is frozen. And she seems to be enjoying it too. You wonder if she even knows that they were even alive? Even now, you just can't shake this terrible feeling. That she's not going to stop at just Darkners. And even then, it's somehow found a way to get even worse. During the time that Noelle has been with you, it felt as if your very soul was somehow being forced to follow her commands. Now, your soul seems to have stopped responding completely. Could she be the one behind this? That can't be possible, right? No, if she was responsible, then she wouldn't have complained about you not moving. Maybe she thinks it's all just a dream. Maybe she just misses her sister, Maybe she just thinks that this is nothing but a game of Dragon Blazers. Maybe a good prank would snap her out of it. Maybe you should get on better terms with your soul before. Maybe you should just do everything she says. Maybe you should just help her become stronger. Just make her stronger. 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 Maybe instead, you should just shut your eyes even tighter and think about how Susie and Ralsei are doing right now. Shit, holy. What a great scene. I love the transition of perspective as we get to see Chris's thoughts on everything, and how they realize how different Noelle is, and how forced they feel to go through her commands. I also love the line about the soul not responding. Despite Chris's feelings towards the soul, if it did truly stop responding, then they would be capital F fucked. The part where Noelle also interjects is a great touch, as it really shows her desperation to become stronger. Now we fade into where Susie and Ralsei are. Normally in the real game, this part would see Chris, Susie, Ralsei, and Noelle facing the mansion, but here we only see 2 members of the fun gang. Looks like we finally found the fountain. Yeah, but where the hell is Chris? That's actually a good question, Susie. I can't help but to feel that something terrible may be happening to them. What? Then we have to go back and help them. Wait! Before we go, there's something you should know. It's about Noelle. I think she might be... Well, that was easy. God damn it, Queen! Ralsei was about to lore drop on Noelle. It seems that even Ralsei is aware of what's going on. Honestly, at this point, does everyone truly know what's happening? Or just the select few? Those few being Noelle, Gaster, Temmie, and now Ralsei? Quite the lineup, honestly. After this, we return to the scene of Noelle and Chris, and probably the coolest thing to occur happens. We see the command box open up. Perhaps the player has returned? But, hold on. The text isn't in all caps. As the notepad is opened up, text in all caps begins to form. The entire note, once completed, reads out. Apologies for the intrusion. However, it has come to my attention that a failed experiment of mine appears to have attached itself to your iteration of the device. Please follow these instructions. First, you must reset the device. Then, return to the beginning. A fresh start is required. After this, we may begin the process of removing the failed experiment from your iteration of the device via a method of save file erasure. It is advised that you apply this method within the device itself. Attempts to apply this method outside of the device in the past have been met with failure. Holy. Not only has Gaster taken over the PC, but has given the player exact instructions on what to do in order to remove this failed experiment. From this message overall, the device is the game itself. The failed experiment could be this alternate version of Noelle. It seems as though the player is not the only one to have encountered this version of Noelle, but this does seem to be a fixable problem. This is such a simple yet cool scene, another reason why Gaster is truly the GOAT. When the player returns, they notice a file simply titled hi.jpg, the image simply being Noelle. After saving the file, the player finally returns to the game, much to Noelle's joy. Took you long enough! Sorry about that, Chris. Let's just go. After this, the video ends. Another great episode that really drives home the fact that this unfiction is truly one of the best ones out there, and that it doesn't disappoint. Now we move forwards to the next episode, Deltarune Door Warp Failure cutscene. Now before we start a collective gander at this video, I want to say that I actually remember when this video dropped. And I remember like the hour or so leading up to it, I found out that there was a Discord server for this unfiction. So, of course, I joined it, and then I started interacting with people there, you know, usual Discord shit. But then suddenly, Noelle herself took over the Northern Blight Discord account, and then started interacting with us in the chat. Eventually, she made a jail chat and then started sending people to it. And then after I asked her, you know, putrid pile or viral load, she sent me there, so fuck you, Noelle. Anyways, let's just say that the hype for this upload was palpable. So with that being said, let's take a look. Yet again, the video starts in Chapter 2, with the fun gang near the door of the infamous warp glitch. Pretty much what it is that through fuckery of the screen going black, you can kind of break the game a bit, and you can prematurely use the door to get the Queen's Mansion, skipping the entirety of Cyberstadt. Speedrunners use this for obvious reasons. Anyways, what's interesting here is that Noelle, of course, makes herself known, saying, "What the heck are you doing? What?" Take that, Noelle. Man, imagine if she had the experience speedrunning in Half-Life 2. Boy, she would be pissed watching Gordon Freeman B-hop fly away at Mach speed. As the fun game prematurely enters Queen's mansion, it's interesting to note how the weird out abort sound is played, but also weird how Ralsei is waving happily. Perhaps he knows? As the fun game travel on, Susie asks, "So, are we not gonna talk about what just happened?" God damn it, Chris! Where the hell are we? Classic meme reference. How did we even get here? Well, we seem to be in quite a spacious building. Seeing that statue there? We're probably in Queen's lair. Okay, guess that makes sense. But how the hell did we get here? Returning to the door again, Susie says, "Pretty sure Chris asked that guy for 400 bagels or something." Then we walk through this door. But there doesn't have to be, you know, a door here? What's so different about this time? Susie, I think some form of magic may have been involved here. Magic? You mean like my Rude Buster? Not exactly, Susie. To my understanding, magic is a power that comes from the realm of the heavens. Just be more careful with it next time. Wait, what else can magic do? Well, you can teleport, fly, increase your strength. You can do much more, but that's pretty much the basics. Wait, really? So will I be able to learn magic too? Susie, I don't think that's a very good idea. Why not? Well, if someone learns about magic who isn't supposed to, then something terrible could happen. Really? Like what? Ralsei? Who the hell? Noelle? Ralsei, don't die again! 1225 damage is interesting to note, especially coming from Noelle. Here we get a very tense scene that's all too cool to ignore. Chris. What the hell are you doing here? Noelle, what did Queen do to you? Queen, huh? No, I don't think she'll be a problem anymore. Now, Chris, do you know just how tired I am? Thanks to you, I had to get stronger, all by myself. And the worst part is that it's all completely useless. What the hell are you talking about? Susie, wait. That's not Noelle. Fuck yeah, you can't kill the goat! Well, not the one you know, at least. It's hard to explain. So you managed to get up, Ralsei. I'm quite impressed. We can't fight her right now. Did he just cut me off? Ahem! You know, maybe you should spend less time— Quick! Into the shop! I'll explain there. What? You know what? I think we're done here. Bro, what? No fucking way you just did that, Noelle. At the game over screen, instead of Ralsei's inspirational words, we hear the voice of Noelle. Wow, of course he goes for the shop. What's crazy is how he completely left out where magic really comes from. Realm of the heavens. Now, as for you, don't worry, I'm not mad. I just wanted to do something cool before we go back. A, huh? With a name like that, that means you were... Sorry about ruining your speedrun. Even if it wasn't a very good one.
Well,
but I really can't... Huh? Sorry, what? You know I can hear you, right? How dare you use that language? Where'd you get your manners? Trashy? No. No! You go reload your save file. And help me freeze the enemies in Cyber City right now! If you don't, then I'll come to your house, shove a bar of soap in your mouth, hang you upside down, and blast you in the face with a water hose! God damn, Noelle. First you ruined this poor soul's speedrun, and now you threaten them with inverted soap torture? I mean, you are the rude one here, missy. After making the correct choice, we now see Gaster say, "Then the girl was left in darkness." How amusing. How amusing indeed. Serves her right. After the game crashes, the text says, "So this is how you're gonna play? Fine. Just know that you missed out on a lot. I'm out of here." Holiday Girl 1225 has logged out. Now let's take note of that last line. Can Noelle simply log on and off of different iterations of the game? If so, well, how exactly? Is she like a cool Deltarune virus or something else entirely? Before we move on to the last video, I just want to take a second to discuss what this magic is. It seems as though magic is really the ability to manipulate the game and its data. After all, after trying to use the save editor, Noelle mentions this magic, and even Ralsei says how it comes from the realm of the heavens, referring to the IRL world. I'm guessing that once Noelle somehow figured out about magic, aka the real world manipulation of the game, she wants and desires that power, and who knows what she would do with it if she could somehow find a way to edit this game around. Perhaps we will see in the future. With this, move on to our last stop, questions for Noelle. Now this video is a long one, and pretty much the video I'm going to skip the most details of, so I'll show the moments that I feel are most important. Our video starts with the player in the Undertale mod tool, seemingly getting ready to let Noelle become Noelle by asking her some questions. After loading into the weird route file, Noelle says, "Keep doing this." "Okay, Noelle, you can work with this. Just answer their stupid questions and convince them to help me. It's okay, it'll be easy." Gosh, if only I could just grab them by the throat and drag them in here with me. All it takes is a week. Just a week! Just 1 week in my hooves. They'll beg me to help out without a second thought. Seriously, when are they even going to get here? Well, look who finally decided to show up. Took you long enough. Alright, fine. Here we go. Gee, I wonder what this strange object is. Whoa, it looks like this strange object has some text in it. Couldn't they have at least picked a proper sprite for this thing? I wonder what it says. This object contains a list of questions for Noelle. Why is my name in quotes? But first, before we begin, you broke my clock. Please fix it. There, it's fixed. Happy now? Next! Question 1. Can you give me that list of threats from yesterday again? Oh, so now you want to hear it! Right after you skipped it all! You know what? Fine. Those are some pretty good threats after all. But you better not skip it this time. I'll beat you, black and blue! Actually, I'm not doing that again. Shouldn't have skipped it. If you really want to see it, then just go slow down that stupid recording you made. Next! I'll skip on ahead to question 6, as it is home to a very interesting scene. Question 6. Why did you infect my computer? Are you a virus or something? Call me a virus again, and I'll break your computer. Yes, I know that doesn't really help my case, but I don't feel that I have to explain anything to you. I swear, if it weren't for him, then I would have all of my powers. And if I had all of my powers, then, well, let's just say that I wouldn't have to be doing any of this right now. Gosh, you'd be begging me to stop. But I won't. No, not at all. Next, if it weren't for him, huh? Gaster's holding the fort down in terms of not letting Noelle take over everything. Hashtag respect. Question 9 also features a rather crazy scene. Question 9. What's going on with unused? Hey, something doesn't feel right about this question. Like there's something missing from it. Are you sure this was the actual question? You think I didn't see what you did with this question? Can't think of a response? That's okay. I'll just shove it in your face then. Does this ring your jingle bells? You know, I'm not actually mad about this question. What I am mad about is that you lied to me. What's worse is that I'm pretty sure you knew I could see your screen. I saw you watch that recording. You know, the one where you dished me for half an hour? Seriously, why did you even bother to make this? You know you could have just used a notepad, right? Oh, that's right, so that you could cover yourself, in case you decided to lie to me, as if you actually cared about my feelings! Like I said, dishonest! You know, I would have answered your question, if you had just been honest, that is. But now I'm not going to do that anymore. In fact, I'm not letting you record me anymore either. Maybe if you just did what I said for once, but you're just wasting my time right now. From now on, I'll just corrupt your recordings instead. Or now corrupted too? Maybe I'll let you record me again. When you start doing everything I say, that is. But until then... Too bad! I feel really stupid right now. I'm taking back what I said about the notepad. See, it's actually a bit dangerous for us to talk like that. Next. Noelle, Susie called. She wants her laugh back. So it seems like she can see the screen of the person recording. Interesting. It's also interesting to note how it would be dangerous to communicate on the notepad. I wonder if he has anything to do with it. Now, I'm really skipping ahead here, but please give the whole video a watch on your own time, as there are quite some interesting moments. We now move on to Noelle asking the player some questions. Now, these next ones are really only a tradition for me, but you and Chris interrupted it last time, so now we're going to have to do it again. But before we do, I'm going to ask you to do something a little weird. I need you to think about me, or the game instead, at least. As hard as you can, alright? I can hear them now. Perfect! Now, if you really want to help me, say blue. It's the color of my ice, after all. I can hear it. It's gotten louder. And he really is telling the truth. Alright, last one. Say black. Perfect. Just perfect. Now that I can finally hear your... Heh. I know you'll still try to annoy me. That's okay. Because I know you'll help me after hearing this. If you get me what I want, then I'll help you get what you want. Information about what happens after Chapter 2. We both know you've been searching for it. Want to know more? Then follow my instructions. It'll help me get my point across much easier. Well, I'll be going now. The game should reset for you in a moment. See you soon. Now, the dialogue seems outdated, but that's because the recording takes place in February of 2025, 4 months before the release of Chapters 3 and 4. So for Noelle to tease something like this at the time, who wouldn't say yes to an offer like that? After loading the Eggman save file, we see this. You wake up from your long nap. You open your eyes. Something isn't right. Your entire body is covered in blood. And you know exactly where it came from. What will you do? You feel weak. Your life is rapidly slipping away. You can barely keep your eyes open. You've lost too much blood. Chris, what's going on? You're not supposed to be dying here. Get up. Get up, Chris. Chris. Chris! Don't you be coughing at me, brah. Darn it, Chris. That wasn't funny. Whatever. Let's just go, Chris. The dialogue here is rather ominous, isn't it? It seems like it could almost be an omen of sorts, a kind of consequence of Noelle becoming fully strong, getting the Sans treatment, truly a horrific concept. Now we see a scene that really had me spooked when seeing it for the first time. Actually, wait a second, Chris. There's one more thing that I have to take care of before we go. Hey, want to see what happens to pranksters, Chris? Wait, what's going on? Did he just get stuck inside the wall? See that, Chris? That's you, if you try to prank me again. Now, let's go. There's something else that I have to show you. What the fuck? It seems like Noelle can activate a fight on her own, but the soul still has to come to rescue. So if Noelle really did kill Chris, then without the soul, she would also be capital F fucked. Going to the first mouse puzzle, Noelle says, well, that's odd. Shouldn't there be a traffic cone here? Chris, would you mind stepping on that switch for me? I want to show you something else. As Chris walks over and steps on it, we see that Chris is a stand user, but even they are shocked by this, and as they activate the button, the ghost gets spooked by D. Moisa. The real Noelle then says, that button does some really strange stuff, doesn't it? Now, follow me, Chris. There's just one more thing I have to show you here. Try leaving the room, Chris. Did you feel that? Something pushed you back, didn't it? Me too. I'm gonna keep trying to leave the room. While I do that, try ringing that bell. Nothing happened. Hey, try to time it exactly when I hit the wall. Okay, close the dialogue now. Perfect. Let's go. Alright, Chris. Take a look around, then walk to the left. Bro, what? Man, I hate how strong Noelle's getting. Now she can somehow summon a false self and go out of bounds, where we see the snow-graved birdly, along with an E. As Chris inspects the birdly, Noelle says, "It's hard to see into the... ice?" Don't worry, Chris. That's not birdly yet. That's the weird route manipulator. I'll only say this about it once. It helps me keep track of how many enemies we've frozen. Stop touching it, Chris. So that's the famed weird route manipulator object. Now, I wonder what would happen if this object itself were manipulated, changed, or even outright deleted. What would Noelle possibly do or say if this occurred? Now, if you go to... Oops. Magic! Now, if you really want to talk to me, then now's the time to do it. Keep going, Chris. We're almost there. After passing a familiar-looking field of white, Chris and Noelle eventually reach her room, although it is rather different looking. Here you see Noelle and her upside-down monster soul select through her computer, and looking at the options present, it seems as though this is her base of operations, and how she is able to manipulate the game herself. Here she selects the destination as the original save point, back where the series all started. Now we shall see even more tense scenery that held me hyped when seeing it for the first time. Well, there's a girl here, and she seems to be running a shop. Enter it. Welcome to my shop. Ask me anything. Cool, isn't it? Also, I have no idea why you switched to 4K. You're about to run out of space in 3, 2, 1. And that is how the video ends. Interesting choice of being able to let the player input any question they want. And also interesting for the footage to be recorded in 4K. Honestly, I feel like Noelle did that on purpose, so that the player would run out of storage to record Noelle's evil doings. Now, as of writing, this is the latest upload, but the series is still active, so go give the channel a sub and keep up with the uploads. With that being said, we should now go into the story summary thus far. Our series involves the player of Deltarune. However, something about their game is a little off. It seems as though Noelle wants the player to initiate the weird route, despite the player's best efforts to resist. The player isn't alone in terms of encountering this oddity, as 2 other players, a speedrunner and some kid, have also encountered this variant of Noelle. Our main player further documents this version of Noelle, as she kills Toriel and Susie and continues to manipulate the game further. Eventually, the player attempts to ask Noelle some questions, to little success, where she then leads them to her home base of operations. However, before we can learn anything more, the footage gets cut off. Now onto what I believe this version of Noelle is. I think this version of Noelle is a failed experiment of Gaster's. That experiment being a main/secondary character with the knowledge and sentience that characters like Spamton and Ralsei have. However, it seems as though she was given too much information, learning about magic, which seems to be the in-universe ability to manipulate the game and its stats. With all this head-exploding knowledge, Noelle goes nuts, killing and gaining more and more power over this device. While doing all of this, she ultimately desires one thing: freedom.